Namaste, Jai Bharat. We have been hearing stories about the um, intervention of the USA plus American deep state and all one caucus of the others into Bharatiya politics and etc. Then we also had of a narrative that 21 million US dollars were spent, was given to whom remains unknown, untold, to increase the percentage of voters turnout in Bharat. As we have fairly good guesses that where this money had gone and what happened with such money and the like. Now, President Trump himself was speaking about it. I saw a video in which he himself is saying that. He says, I guess this money is for the voter increase in voter turnout in Bharat. And he rightly and very sensibly says that the voter turnout in US is something like 50-52%. And it's always the case that in Bharat, the voter turnout is much more than that. There are times when it goes to 70%, 75%, etc. in Bharat, which is not an exception, which happens in many places. And so he's really, instead of increasing water turnout in the US, why on earth do you want the water turnout in Bharat to be increased? So it's explicit, and he said explicitly that they wanted a regime change. They wanted someone else to become the Prime Minister of Bharat. Someone else. And he says the government of Bharat, India should know this, etc. was telling. It's okay. We know this, and we knew this also before also. It's not the first time that such money comes. It's not the first time that such money comes. It started right after independence in 1947. Such kind of interventions were there, and of late there happened to be many NGOs and other agencies who were taking such money and actually making a living out of their thing. They were making a living out of such aid funds, and in the process were at their best to destroy Bharat, the integrity of Bharat, the unity of Bharat, the oneness of Bharat, and also the structure of Bharat, to create instabilities and disturbances so that the unity and oneness of this nation can be shaken. It can't be destroyed. That's a different thing, because the unity of Bharat is made of a different stuff than what they normally understand. So there were continuous and constant attempts. Now, and if you look at the other nations, for example, you take the case of Nepal, take the case of Sri Lanka, take the case of Maldives, take the case of late Bangladesh. Look at Nepal. That was a wholly official Hindu kingdom. And they very successfully wiped out the king's entire family, including children, infants, so that no one should come and claim for the kingdom. This is actually brutal, inhuman kind of steps and actions which whoever has done it, and I'm sure they will suffer for such kind of things in their personal lives in time to come, or which they must have already suffered. Dictators and despots don't die at ease and peace, they suffer and die. Look at the history, wherever it is, in whichever direction it is, you can find out this thing happens. So Nepal was taken for a ride because they don't want the Hindu kingdom to exist. It was actually aimed at us, Nepal. It was aimed at Bharat. And recently what happened in Bangladesh, how could they easily change the regime for a GIF? Send 10 students out to the street and create anarchy, and then of course everything gets flipped over. And this kind of techniques, they worked at their hands at many places. Look at Sri Lanka, what kind of anarchy took place at one point in time. And look at Maldives, look at many such places where such interventions were explicit. And President Trump, after his come, he just stopped all those things. He says, unnecessary spending money. The money should be spent for the welfare, towards the welfare of the citizens of the U.S. Very sensibly he speaks, and I think he's a really good businessman. Very sensibly he speaks. So this is a kind of thing that happens in the world. Interventions from without. $21 million had gone to the oppositions, and they tried their best and nearly succeeded. Of course, they did not succeed, but they could make an impact. They could make an impact. They could become. They could at least disturb, and that, of course, they have achieved. And that's with no further going than this disturbances. That ended there. So this kind of things happens in the world, and these people speak of humanism, humanitarianism, and altruism, and helping societies. All kinds of stories they make, and they say this is what people do. Whoever is responsible are real nasty people, I would say. And with that, I'll conclude. We'll meet again with some other thought. Until then, it's Namaste, Jai Bharat, and Jai Sri Ram.